Hey guys, and welcome to this A plus 1201 practice question video on exam objective 5.3, where I'm going to give you focused practice questions specifically on exam objective 5.3 to help you prepare for this one in particular. Let's get straight to the first question, which reads, Mary has just connected her laptop to an external monitor using an HDMI cable. She double checks that the cable is firmly plugged in on both ends and appears undamaged. However, the monitor still displays a no input signal message. What does this scenario most likely indicate? A. The HDMI cable is operating on the wrong frequency. B. The monitor's input source is set incorrectly. C. The laptop's graphics card is malfunctioning. Or D. The cable connections are loose. Pause the video if you need more time. Your answer in 3, 2, 1. It is B. The monitor's input source is set correctly. This one should be ringing bells, guys. If you have a issue where you are not getting the display on a monitor, your first port of call should be to check that the cable is plugged in properly. The second one should be to check that you've selected the correct input. Only once you have verified both of those two things should you start going to other things. Now, we know the cable connection is not loose because Mary explicitly said she double checked that. She firmly plugged it in. She checked it. We know it's not loose. So the next one down the list of things when it comes to this issue is, do we have the right input source? We have not verified yet that. So naturally that should be the next one we go to. Otherwise, the HDMI cable is operating on the wrong frequency. That's kind of like one you would select if you don't just want to throw you off. HDMI cables don't really have that issue, and there's no reason, even if they did, to think that that was the problem. C, the laptop's graphics card is malfunctioning. If the laptop's graphics card were malfunctioning, that would mean that the laptop wouldn't be able to function normally itself, okay? But we're looking at an external monitor only here. We have no reason to believe that's the case. So for those reasons, the answer is B. The monitor's input source is set incorrectly. The next question reads, Christopher connects his laptop to an external monitor using a VGA cable for a presentation. He soon notices that the colors on the screen look off, with visible distortion and fuzzy details. He verifies that the monitor's settings, like the brightness and the resolution, are correctly configured. What is the most likely cause of these display issues? A loose or damaged VGA cable disrupting the analog signal. B, incorrect operating system video drivers. C, an incompatible monitor brightness setting. Or D, insufficient power supply to the monitor. Pause the video. Your answer coming in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Your answer is a loose or damaged VGA cable disrupting the analog signal. So guys, if a VGA cable doesn't have a good connection or there are some damaged pins, you may have a fuzzy looking image and some distorted colors as well coming across on the screen. That's kind of that unique thing to VGA cables. If it's loose or some of those pins aren't quite connected properly, it's going to look fuzzy and you're going to have some color discoloration there. All right, so that's a key indicator that a VGA cable specifically might not be connected properly or might be a little bit damaged. The other options, incorrect operating system video drivers. Firstly, we're using a VGA cable and we should know if they're not connected properly, we're going to have these issues. We should always be associating them with VGA cables. So for that reason alone already, this option B should not be the most likely choice here. So that being said, incorrect video drivers can cause display issues, but generally you're looking at incorrect resolution, the inability to even use the monitor at all, or more severe glitches, right? It's not just going to be simply fuzzy and colors are a little bit off. That's specific to VGA cables not being connected properly, potentially due to being loose or damaged. C, an incompatible monitor brightness setting. That would mean that the brightness is low, but it wouldn't make it look fuzzy and it wouldn't make the color look distorted, right? So that's not something we would see. And D, insufficient power supply to the monitor. In that case, we would not be able to see anything at all because the monitor would not be turned on. So that's why that's not the answer. Hopefully that made sense. Pause and read if you need some more info on that. But with that being said, we'll move on to the next one. The next one reads, Emma notices that her computer monitor has begun to flicker and flash intermittently while she's working. She initially suspects a loose cable, so she checks and reseats all the connections and even swaps out the HDMI cable with a new one. However, the flickering continues. What is the most likely cause of the flashing or flickering screen in this scenario? A loose HDMI cable. B, outdated display drivers. C, incorrect monitor input. Or D, a defective monitor backlight. Pause the video if you need more time. Your answer coming in 3, 2, 1. It's going to be a defective monitor backlight, guys. D. It would be a loose HDMI cable if she has not checked and swapped that out to eliminate that variable. A loose HDMI cable can cause the screen to flicker, but she's already checked that. So that would be a good first step. But because that's been verified, we're going to go to the next one. And the next one is going to be defective monitor backlight. Because if that backlight is defective, it means it might be flickering on and off, right? Because the LCD displays use a backlight at the back of the screen to light the display. If that backlight's not working, if it's flickering, you're going to see flickering as well. So that's why that is the most likely option. Now, that being said, what about the other options? So we got B, outdated display drivers. They can cause issues, but they're not going to cause flickering. They're more likely to cause things such as incorrect resolutions or certain glitches, but you're not going to see consistent flickering necessarily. It's not as likely there. And C, incorrect monitor input. That's where you've got a blank screen because you've got the HDMI cable plugged into slot 1 and you have slot 2 selected. So that's a simple human error and is not really relevant to this particular one. It's not going to cause flickering. Here's what people generally do when they're studying for the A+. They generally watch a video course on YouTube and then they skip straight to a randomized practice exam and they feel like their brain's about to explode. Don't let that be you. Do this instead. Watch your video course and then do some simple active recall questions on that particular subject that you just studied, and then do your practice questions for that particular subject that you just studied. Once you've done that for the whole video course, that's when you go ahead and try your randomized practice test. Okay, that is where I want you to be. That's what I want your study method to be in order to practice this exam, to pass this exam. Sorry. If you do this, you'll be stressed like everyone else and wondering why you're getting 50% on the practice test. If you do this, you'll be ready for the practice test and you'll be going all right. So with that being said, guys, that's exactly, and I have to plug myself, as always, what you can expect to get from my learning guide. My learning guide breaks things down by exam objective. You get notes and practice questions for every single exam objective. You get 11 performance-based questions. You get 3 practice exams. You get a tracking spreadsheet with a recommended study plan. You get videos showing you how to maximize your learning, really high quality videos in there, guys. And here's what people are saying. Your learning guides have helped me pass the CompTIA A+. Your effort has been a great help to me. It helps with organized information and helps me piece things together more easily. I tried other popular resources but struggled absorbing the material. I try to really formulate my stuff so it's easily absorbable, guys. And finally, your notes helped me pass my test today. So with that being said, if you want to grab it, the link to the learning guide is in the description and pinned comment below. Otherwise, you can get a free practice exam, completely free, in the link and comment below. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Keep on studying, guys, and I can't wait to hear that you have passed your exam. You're going to kill it. You're going to smash it. I know you're going to do it with no problems, okay? You got this. Good luck, and I will see you in the next video, guys. We're almost there.